We're here.
It's that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, WrestleMania, right around the corner. We're roughly, what are we, about a week out from WrestleMania weekend in Dallas, Texas. It's become something a little bit more than what it used to be, because now we have NXT TakeOver on the WWE Network. NXT TakeOver Dallas with a stat card. Saturday night, April 2nd, we are going to be given our Hall of Fame, seeing the induction of the gentleman you heard as we came on the air. The big boss man himself is going into the Hall of Fame this year, and we should all be happy about that. Well deserved. Not to mention Sting. Miss Jacqueline is going in there. Finally. Jacqueline is in the Hall of Fame, and well deserved. The Freebirds are going in. Who'd have ever thought three of the baddest men to ever walk down the streets of Atlanta, Georgia would make it to the WWE Hall of Fame? They're going to be in. The Pimp Man himself. What's his name, Daniel?
The Godfather.
Yeah, I call him the Pimp Man. That's what I remember him for. The Ho Train. I wonder if the Hoes are going to be coming out on stage with him. What do you think? You think the Hoes are going to make an appearance?
Part of me's kind of hoping that we get a Papa Shango instead, and we find out that that's the real curse of why all the people are injured going into WrestleMania this year.
That may well happen in Dallas, Texas on April 2nd. At the Hall of Fame ceremony. Looking forward to that. But more than that, WrestleMania 32. This promises to be the biggest professional wrestling event in the history of professional wrestling. This is going to be the biggest WrestleMania in history. And with that, we're doing a little special show here for you. A little special with myself, two of the greatest producers in the history of all of professional wrestling. That's right, Scott NDX from New York City. Scott, how you doing over there in New York? Okay, and Daniel Correa talking live from out there in the Bay Area, in Northern California. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm good, man. Just can't wait till Mania. I'm actually, in all honesty, I'm excited for Mania, but I'm even more excited for the Friday night before with NXT Dallas.
Definitely.
This is bigger than the Super Bowl. This is bigger than March Madness and the Sweet 16. This is WrestleMania. 32 years now this has been going on. When you guys were little tykes, and I know that I've got a few years on you, did you ever think that WrestleMania would be going on at this point, 32 years down the road? Daniel?
During the middle of the Monday Night Wars, no. Absolutely not.
Scott, you're...
Well, I always knew WrestleMania would be around. I never expected anything otherwise. I knew WCW would not put WWF out of business, which was what it was called at the time, WWF, not WWE. Forget you, revisionist history.
And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know. I was there for WrestleMania 1, watching it on pay-per-view. And
yeah, I know some places had closed-circuit television in the movie theaters.
And I feel old because almost everyone that was on that card is now considered a legend and is in the Hall of Fame.
How many of them are dead?
Many. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Both Scott and I were thinking the same thing. He just did it with a little more tact.
Yeah, or unfortunately underground. You know, one time, a friend of mine, we were waiting for the bus, and we were just going through WrestleManias, because WrestleMania was about a week away. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. And we were just saying, dead, 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 dead. I think we got tired of counting by WrestleMania 7 how many people were dead.
It's scary to think, man.
It's sad.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of how old I really am. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Well, you know what? I hope I'm here for WrestleMania 50. You know, it's only, 28 years away now?
Geez, I hope there is a WrestleMania 50.
Oh, there will be a WrestleMania 50. If there's a breath in the body of a McMahon, there will be a WrestleMania 50, and I think Vince will be there.
If Undertaker's still alive, he'll still be wrestling.
You know, this is going to be the longest Undertaker entrance in history at this WrestleMania, I do believe.
It has nothing to do with the length of the field. He's just really slow to get to the ring.
Exactly. He swings for a punch, and 3 minutes later it connects. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, because I love The Undertaker. I love The Undertaker, not what we have. Please retire after this, Taker. You know, for a lot of us fans, it's not so much that you've lost a step. It's more that we don't want to see you getting injured. It's kind of scary.
No, it's because you lost a step. I'm not gonna lie.
Scott, Daniel has booked a match for WrestleMania 50, Foley versus Taker in a wheelchairs match.
I don't think Foley or Undertaker might be alive by then, unfortunately.
Neither one of them will make it down the ramp.
I'm wondering which person on the current roster, and in all honesty, it might be, as we are seeing it now unfold on television, Dean Ambrose becoming Terry Funk and still wrestling till he's, basically senile.
Terry Funk did pass off the chainsaw.
We did see the Chainsaw Charlie infamous chainsaw get passed.
And I hope Dean Ambrose ain't crazy enough to bring that SOB down to ringside with him, because somebody going to get hurt.
Rock is going to use it on him.
Oh,
Yeah. And people were doing some funny memes online, too. I saw one that had a picture of Al Snow and says, I support Dean Ambrose, but I'm not giving him head.
wow. All right.
Are we
Anyway,
going to have to start the show over because of that now?
no, but we may have to edit that line out. I'm not sure. We'll have to leave that up to Nicholas Anthony.
Aw, that wasn't meant to be dirty.
Yeah, but
I know, but many people might not realize that you're talking about a ceramic, mannequin head.
All right, well, let's start over again. Sorry.
Nah, we're cool. We're fine. Anyway, WrestleMania 32, Dallas, Texas. The biggest one, the biggest stadium. Not the biggest, but one of the largest stadiums on the face of the planet. Not quite as big as the Coliseum in Rome, but they only use that to sacrifice Christians to the lions. Anyway, this WrestleMania, the card is not as stellar as they have been in the past. Give it that. There's no feeling like knowing that Sting was going to be at WrestleMania last year facing off against Triple H. We don't get that coming out of here. I'm going to say this, and over on ProWrestling247.net, we do have up the complete card, or what's expected to be the complete WrestleMania 32 card on Sunday, April 3rd, live from Dallas, Texas, AT&T Stadium.
On the WWE Network.
Or on the WWE Network for how much?
Free if it's your first month.
That too, but for those subscribers who've been there for a while, how much does it cost? How soon? I was going to say. Anyway, we're going to get the third annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and as far as we know so far, show is entered. I believe that the hashtag social misfits have all
They're the outcasts.
We're going to get the Usos versus the Dudley Boys, and I got a feeling that's going to end up being a tables match. We're going to get a match. There's a few matches I am looking forward to on this card, and this is going to be one of them. Brie Bella, Alicia Fox, Natalya, and Paige versus Lana, Naomi, Tamina, and Emma will be in that match. I'm real happy to see Emma coming back up to the main roster. I appreciate that. She deserves it. She's really come in as this heel Emma. She has become something that she was not. She has become dominant. And I love that because Emma has all the tools it takes to be a Divas champion. And then we have the match that I know Scott is looking forward to. Second year in a row, we're getting this match, a 7-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title. This year, we're getting Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, and Stardust. If memory serves me well, Stardust, Ziggler, and Miz were all in it last year also. And so Ryder, Sin Cara, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens are the 4 newcomers to the bout. And let's hope we don't have any injuries like we did last year with Daniel Bryan.
I don't blame the ladder match for that. I think there was a lot of factors going into what was going on with Bryan. That was just another piece of the puzzle that led to him eventually retiring.
You know, it's a good thing he got out while he's young and while he's still got his health.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least when it came down to it, it didn't keep him out of the match itself, injury-wise. WWE this year has been plagued by injuries, and it's just unfortunate because I wouldn't think of a guy like Zack Ryder being all of a sudden in an Intercontinental title match, but when you look at who's hurt and who hasn't been around for a while, they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. The only one I could say realistically that could have been in this match, aside from a Zack Ryder, would have been Tyler Breeze.
Which I would have preferred.
I think a lot of people may have preferred Tyler Breeze, but we do have Sami Zayn. We do have The Miz.
What about Bray Wyatt, who's not even on the card right now?
Oh, I'm sure they're going to find a way to work Bray into this card at some point in time. We still have Monday and Thursday before we get the complete card. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, Bray's got his little vague things out there, so we'll see what happens here.
And whatever happens, it's not going to be what I want, because I wanted a Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania, and with Luke Harper injured, that's definitely not going to happen.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. And Bray's supposedly nursing a back injury, so that may come into play here, too. We're also going to get a tag team title bout featuring the New Day versus the League of Nations. This promises to probably be a pretty damn good tag team title match. If it's done right, I think it's going to be okay. This has not been added to the card, but it is suspected it should be there. That would be Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles in his WrestleMania debut. And if that's the case, this could be one of those matches that we really are paying attention to, because these two work very well together in the ring. Up next...
Yeah, but it's SSDD. We've literally had that match 4 times already.
Well, I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, we get a little stip put on this one. If Jericho loses, he must retire from WWE forever.
Nah, it won't happen. If that was the case, if they put a stipulation on that, then all of everything that Chris Jericho has done in the past week to antagonize Shinsuke Nakamura coming to WWE is for nothing.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Then we come up to what I feel is one of the most anticipated matches on this card. We got Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha in a triple threat. The last time we saw these 3 girls in the ring together, it was a fatal 4-way with Bayley on the card. They stole the show, and I really think that this match has the potential of being the match at WrestleMania 32.
That was the first of 4 women's matches from last year that are Match of the Year candidates.
And it was beautiful. I'm hoping that after WrestleMania we move away from the Divas division and get back into a women's division. There's been talk of that, and I'm hoping that's what happens.
Well, technically, Divas is just a word now.
It's a brand.
I mean, look at how they've been booking their women's wrestlers. They're not there just to look pretty anymore. They are having some hard-hitting matches, and it's including, Naomi, Tamina. The Bellas really got into it at one point. Alicia Fox before she fell off in talent. They have some really impressive women, and they also have some downstairs. Well, but you know what I mean. NXT. Downstairs. What's wrong with me?
Look at this WrestleMania card. We have 8, 9, 10, 11 women on the card. This is the first time, I think, in Mania history there have been 11 women on the card.
That didn't involve bra, panties, and lingerie.
Exactly.
And pillows.
Exactly. And that, to me, says something about how far this women's division that they have in WWE has really progressed, because the women's matches are becoming must-see. They really are. And the way they have built the feud between Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha is beautiful. It is how you book a match. It's how you book professional wrestling, period, point blank. We also get a United States title match with Kalisto facing off against Ryback.
You can't say that on this station.
I can say that. Yes, I can say that. Skip Sheffield, how's that?
Yep.
All right, yip.
We do.
Got that. Then we have... We'll skip over these two and go right to here. We have a no-holds-barred street fight, which, no-holds-barred street fight, that's kind of redundant. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar.
That would be funny if they had a street fight where they actually banned wrestling moves.
That would be funny.
All you can do.
No, you can't do any wrestling moves. This is a street fight.
Wait, you're disqualified?
You can find something sharp.
Yeah, you're disqualified. You did an arm drag. Wait, that was a suplex. You cannot do suplexes in this fight. I'm sorry, not allowed.
Let's book that. Maybe they'll force Brock Lesnar to do something else.
Then we come to the most unanticipated World Heavyweight Championship match in the history of WWE. Triple H versus, oh my God, why is he in the world title picture again? Roman Reigns. I've heard a lot of negative, and I've read a lot of negativity going out toward Triple H about making himself a 14-time champion and this and that, but I gotta say this for Triple H. He has used this title reign to put over guys like Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. How did he do that? Because they received title shots and they looked damn good against what arguably is one of the greatest professionals of all time. in Triple H, if not one of the gutsiest men in the history of the business. So I don't feel that he did anything wrong. It's a vain move, I understand that. However, what he's done with this title reign and the few defenses he has had has helped to elevate people like Dean Ambrose. Not that he needed it, but it shot him into that next level. The same with Dolph Ziggler. That match they had on Monday Night Raw was spectacular. Dolph, you really could believe that Dolph could beat Triple H. And anytime that happens, you've got to say that Trips is doing his job and doing it well. Kudos to Triple H for the way he's handled this title run. And then, the match of the night. The match that means something. The match for control of Monday Night Raw and thusly control of WWE. Shane McMahon makes his in-ring return in a Hell in a Cell bout against The Undertaker, the dead man himself. Now, should Taker not win this match, he's fired. He's gone. He will never go to WrestleMania again, according to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. However, if he doesn't win, Shane takes control. Does Shane have to tell him he can't be at Mania next year? I mean, really, when you think about it, that's a pretty empty threat.
Shane can hire him back.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah, they're going to need somebody to cart off all the carcasses.
Did you see the training video from this past week on Raw of Shane training MMA with the Gracies? Oh man, he can throw hands now a little bit. He can throw some jiu-jitsu. He knows what he's doing now, a lot better than before.
And yet his fight with the Taker on Raw looked stupid.
He did kind of look like he was potatoing him. So
He potatoed everyone.
You know what? We can only wait.
Give me a time when he didn't potato someone. Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Vince is worse, though. Vince was way worse.
Yeah, but Vince only threw like one or two punches at a time. You know, Shane's throwing this flurry of just stupidity at people.
All right. You know what? We can only wait until April 3rd to find out what really is going to happen here in this match. There's a lot on the line in that match. A lot. This is for control of WWE. This could be that changing of the guard that so many fans have spoken about for the last, 5-6 years? And it could set up some very interesting stories going into the future. Should Shane McMahon walk away the winner, it really could mean a different direction for the WWE and professional wrestling itself. We don't know until we find out what happens. I have my feelings about this match, but that isn't what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the weekend and what's going on. So on that note, let's go over, and I saved the best for last, of course, here. The best for, later here. NXT TakeOver Dallas, and I do feel that this is not a smart move to put this show on the Friday before Mania, because once again, I have a feeling that 5 matches are going to show up in an 11-match card. I really do.
Easily.
Yeah, very easily. Very easily. First of all, we're just running down the card here, folks, of the weekend here. The cards. In a singles match, Austin Aries will make his WWE big event debut against one Baron Corbin. This match is going to be good. This is going to be better than good because both Austin Aries and Baron Corbin have something to prove here. One, A-Double is out to prove that he belongs in the WWE. And Corbin is out to prove that he is the future of the WWE. So this match is going to be awesome. Next up, we get another singles match, and I know Scott, Daniel, and me, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we are dying to see this one. Shinsuke Nakamura makes his NXT debut against Sami Zayn. And
yes, very much anticipating that one.
That should be the main event over the world title, but it won't be.
Well, it's not like they have a weak card in any way, shape, or form on this.
True enough.
We have the NXT Tag Team titles, the Revival, or as I like to call them, the modern day Brainbusters, Dash and Dawson, versus, are you ready, willing, and Gable for American Alpha, guys?
I can't wait for this match.
This is going to be. I wrote a little article on Pro Wrestling 247 where I stated, and I mean this with all my heart, American Alpha is ready to take the tag team titles off of the Revival. And the only reason I say that is because the Revival are ready to change the face of tag team wrestling on the main roster. If any tag team could make those tag team titles in WWE really mean something again, Dash and Dawson can do it. And I hope that they do get the nod and do step up to the main roster after Mania 32 in Dallas. Then we have what's probably one of the most anticipated NXT women's title matches ever. Asuka versus Bayley. This match is going to be great. This match is going to be brutal. This match is going to be strong style. This match is going to be beautiful.
Fun for the fans. I mean, in all honesty, you got the two best women on that roster in NXT going at it now. And honestly, just as easily, these two women can be two of the top draws on the main roster as well.
Yeah, I think Asuka is ready to lead the NXT women's division while Bayley gets her nod and finally steps up to the main roster to join her place rightfully with the other of the four horsewomen. And then we have, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be brutal. And Finn, I'm sorry, but Joe's gonna kill you. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT heavyweight title. Cannot wait for this. I am so looking for Joe to be able to put a strap around his waist and call him champ, because he deserves it. He has, I don't know, would you guys say that Samoa Joe has totally retooled his entire career with his tenure in NXT? That old
I
Joe.
definitely say he revitalized it, because this is the Joe that we used to watch in 2005 to 2010.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not the guy that's been languishing in TNA the last few years of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely found his fire again. Before he made the jump, he just was like going through the motions. He really didn't care. And now you can tell he wants to be there. He's the old Samoan submission machine again. Like, you can see that fire in his eyes again.
Exactly. It's a shame that this card is actually going on before Mania, because I think all 5 of these matches are headlining matches no matter where. You put these on the marquee and people are going to come and pay to see these folks perform. I will say that I do think there's going to be 3 title changes at this NXT event, which would be a first for NXT. Never happened before and may never happen again. But I just think that some of these people, some of the guys here are really deserving of getting their main event push. And with the arrival of Anderson and Gallows, Balor is ready. He's ready to step up to the main card. He deserves it. He's worked his ass off. So everything that he's got, he's earned. And it's going to be funny because this is going to change the face of NXT completely. Completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm loving it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And then Saturday night, in between, we get the Hall of Fame with the induction of the man from Venice Beach, California. The man who most people would have, just a couple years ago, never, ever will he ever be in the Hall of Fame. Sting is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, I've heard a lot of people say he didn't deserve this. He's not had a very...
What?
Wait, let me explain. He's only been with the WWE a couple years. He hasn't been successful in his matches, this, that, and the other. And I'm saying...
Michael Cole has a better record at WrestleMania than Sting.
Michael Cole has a better wrestling record in WWE than Sting.
Period.
However, how can you deny the... And that's what people don't realize, is the WWE Hall of Fame isn't just about WWE. It's about the impact that...
Yeah, because Antonio Inoki had how many matches? What about Nick Bockwinkel?
What about Vern Gagne? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
This is about the impact made by that man or woman in professional wrestling. And if you say if you would argue one bit that Sting has not made an impact, I will say this. He carried WCW on his shoulders for years.
And here's the thing, though, that people tend to forget. WWE now owns the rights to the majority of all that footage.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, he has been in a roundabout way in a WWE company.
And honestly, I think when Vince finally signed him, Vince was overjoyed and happy to have Sting on his roster, because I'm sure back in the day, Vince would have loved to have had Sting. But Sting
was the white whale. That was Vince's white whale right there.
Yeah, and when Sting came over,
He finally put him out of his misery. Sorry, it kind of felt like that was what they were trying to do a little.
It did kind of feel like that. I feel bad because, in all honesty, that WrestleMania match, Sting should have won.
Yeah, it was
That's
what it
my
was.
opinion.
It was what it was, and you know that Sting had to agree with the outcome of that match, because he's not one of those guys that are going to say, you're going to do this. He's going to be like, okay, I understand. This is cool. And it gave us something that we didn't have in the past. We got the NWO versus DX that night, and that was beautiful, because that's something we really wanted to see. We got it really late, but we still got it at least one time, and that was cool. Sting was happy with the outcome. At the end of the night, what happened? Triple H extended that hand, shook his hand, and showed the respect that a man like Sting deserves. He has done a lot for professional wrestling. Would you not say that Sting actually helped to keep TNA alive for a little while there? He was the one guy in TNA that made TNA a product that people would believe was a big-time product because of this superstar they had, this man called Sting. He was
Icon, yeah. I mean, it definitely isn't going to hurt to have a guy like Sting. I mean, it's not like he was Hulk Hogan and there was a stigma about him where he took over booking and had it his way and basically ran the ground alongside the NWO guys, and they refused to do a job for somebody. Wow. Sting was always a team player. He was always a company man. So Sting has a lot of respect from a lot of people in the business.
Kudos to Sting, and kudos to WWE for bringing him into the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. I don't care what anyone thinks. My Hall of Fame moment will come when Jacqueline gets inducted. I love Jacqueline. I love her work. She had one of the greatest careers that any woman could ever have in professional wrestling. I do sound a little emotional right now because she's one of my all-time favorite female wrestlers. I love Jackie. She should have been in there a long time before other people made it to the Hall of Fame. It is what it is, and she's there now, and that's a great thing in my book. Scott, I know you like Jackie too, and have mad respect.
Oh yeah, it was at a time when they still had some really good women's wrestling going on. She was definitely a favorite. When she showed up in TNA with, who was it with? Was it Early on Beer Money?
Early Beer Money, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good time to tune in.
And what a better place.
She was one of the few women that could really go, too.
And one of my things about this card, Sting, born and raised Texas. Jackie, what was her moniker? Miss Texas. We had the tag team that is going into the Hall of Fame. They're one of the most underrated tag teams in the history of pro wrestling, the Freebirds. I cannot wait to see Jimmy Jam Garvin up there on that stage with Michael P.S. Hayes. And by the way, folks, no matter what you say about Michael Hayes was a great professional wrestler. He did his job. You hated Michael Hayes. Okay? Michael Hayes is one of those guys that he could be a face and you would love the hell out of him. Or he could be a heel and you would hate him. You would loathe this man. Him and Jimmy Jam were one incarnation of the Freebirds. But more telling, one of my all-time favorites is finally going into the Hall of Fame. Granted, it's as part of the Freebirds. Terry Bam Bam Gordy, God rest his soul. Probably, I don't know, would you guys agree with the statement that Bam Bam Gordy was one of the greatest big men to ever set foot in a ring? The man was... I don't know. The things he did in the ring were just spectacular. He was one of the biggest, roughest, toughest guys I could ever imagine. Plus, he had a hell of a career over in Japan. One of the biggest stars Japan has ever seen.
And you know what? You're mentioning Japan, and another name that's going into the Hall of Fame this year is the Lariat, Stan Hansen.
Can't wait for that. That man was scary. Really was a scary man. And he was one of those guys that scared me. you know, before the age of the modern era, before kayfabe was broken, Hansen was that guy that, you know, you didn't want to meet him in a bar and piss him off. You really didn't.
Yeah, he would kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Legitimately, he would try to kill you.
Yeah, Stan Hansen was one of the most vicious men in the sport, and
he's still got really strong ties in Japan with New Japan. He's there occasionally, and you'll see him on some of their broadcasts too.
Cannot wait to see Stan Hansen again. I wonder if he's going to bring that.
What if he's going to knock Vader's eye out again?
I just wonder if he's going to bring that bull rope with the cowbell on it out to the ring. One of his little signature things he used to do with him, and if he's going to have that mustache and the big old, what was that, a 10-gallon hat or a 50-gallon hat, whatever he wore. It's the man from Bulger, Texas. Stan the Man Hansen. We also got the Godfather going in. Now, personally, I think I would rather see someone else go in this year, a little bit more deserving, but my pick won't go in until his wife gets her stuff together and gets over the fact of what happened at the Kemper Arena in Kansas City. It was an accident. It was of no fault of the WWF that it happened. But I would much rather see this be the year Owen goes in. It is what it is, and we're getting the Godfather. And like I said earlier, I wonder if he's going to be bringing the Ho train down the aisle with him. I got a feeling we're going to see that happen. And Daniel, maybe Papa Shango will induct him. Never know. Never know.
That'd be really weird. I don't know, but no. One of the names still. I mean, we have about a week until everything is official, and we still don't have a celebrity yet. Usually, there's a celebrity. We still haven't heard anything about the Warrior Award yet. So there's still names to be coming out soon too.
Now, I would give the Warrior Award to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The whole foundation itself, because of what they've done for the kids, and because they really have made a difference. And the WWE is by all accounts one of the most requested groups to have talent come to see these young kids that are suffering from their illnesses and stuff, from what I've understood. So I would give that to the foundation itself, and set the precedent that the Warrior Award doesn't necessarily have to be an individual, but it can also be an organization that has done a lot, because that's the heart of the Warrior. And I wonder if Dana will be there to present it. I hope she will. As far as celebrity, Daniel, one name comes to my mind. I think he deserves it. He's done a lot with the WWE, and that name would be Jerry Springer. Scott, your thoughts on Jerry Springer maybe going into the Hall of Fame this year?
I'm not a fan of his, so it doesn't really.
Who would you pick?
No celebrity.
No celebrity this year? What about the Warrior
No
Award?
celebrity. You already have a stacked card already. You don't need anyone else.
All right. What about the Warrior Award?
I really can't figure out what to do with that thing at all.
Daniel, your thoughts on either of those?
For celebrity, I know they're more so apt to go for somebody who's been on TV as opposed to behind the scenes. But you could even give it to somebody who was on the writing crew, Freddie Prinze Jr. Why not? It's a name that many people know, but not necessarily realize he was on the writing crew. So that's just an idea. It's probably not going to happen. Most people, again, probably didn't even realize he was on the writing crew. As for the Warrior Award, I like your idea about just giving it as an award to the Make-A-Wish. That to me that probably makes the most sense. It's kind of hard to top Connor Mahalik. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That kid was that touched the heartstrings.
Super fan. Super fan of super fans. Let's do a little thing here now. The chances of Hulk Hogan being at WrestleMania. Will Hogan make an appearance?
I give him a 25% chance.
25% chance. Scott? Scott NDX, the chances of Hogan making an appearance at WrestleMania.
I don't really care if he does or doesn't, honestly.
Well, give me a percentage here.
I'd say 50-50.
You say 50.
There's a toss-up on this one.
So, with your 50% chance of Hulk Hogan being at WrestleMania, and Daniel's 25% chance of him being at WrestleMania, and my 50% chance of him being at WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan's got 100 and minus the 75% chance that he would not be at WrestleMania, and the 50% chance that he would not be at WrestleMania, and the 50% chance that he would not be at WrestleMania. You get where I'm going here? Hulk Hogan
Thank you
has
for Professor Scott Steiner.
You're very welcome. Got to do the right math when it comes to pro wrestling, you know.
And that's to be a law enforcement officer. Treat other people